Welcome to DevScamsExposed, the ultimate place to bust shady tech trends. Today, we're tearing apart the vibe coding scam. Vibe coding is the idea that you give in to the vibes. Describe what you want, often by speaking it out loud via speech to text, think whisper or similar, and let AI write most of the code while you iterate with prompts. The term became popular in early 2025, coined by Karpathy. He described it as fully leaning into AI and almost forgetting the code exists. Now, something that gets largely ignored is the fact that Karpathy does have developer experience. He is saying this as a developer who has worked in the industry. He led Tesla's autopilot vision team as director of AI, helped found OpenAI, and taught Stanford's CS231N deep learning course. He has years of hands-on engineering and research behind him, and while to many of us it is clear that this was a meme and a joke, as it turns out, it is very convenient for many to take it seriously, and we will dive deeper into why that is further along in the video. No one mentions Karpathy's background as a developer. Media and tools have promoted the idea that vibe coding allows non-technical people to build apps using simple text prompts or voice commands requiring no real skills. This has fueled the hype. However, claiming that vibe coding yields the same results for someone with a developer background as it does for someone with no technical expertise is a scam and a lie. There is a huge difference between a developer with experience, a person who can write and read code fluently, and someone who has absolutely no tech background whatsoever. While both of them may call it giving into the vibes and letting AI do it all, there is a huge difference. The developer has knowledge, skills, and experience. They don't just shut off while vibe coding. They may not be actively using all of it all the time, but all of that still exists in their brain, and they cannot shut it off, nor operate as if it isn't there. That vastly affects what they will produce and deliver, while someone who does not have that dev knowledge or experience will perform the whole vibe coding in a totally different, very clueless way. They will think what they produced is amazing, top-of-the-world quality. Well, yeah, because to them it is. They do not know any better. Even junior developers tend to get impressed by things that seniors find extremely simple because seniors have gone way beyond producing such things. The cap of their knowledge shapes their perspective, and all of that shapes what they deliver. Now let's explore the two main reasons the term became so popular. First, all of those non-tech people once again have a reason to believe that they are tech-savvy, and they can be programmers too. This is not new. It happened with low-code, no-code, when people would say, "Oh yeah, I can build websites too," failing to see the difference between developing a site from scratch, coding every line, and using a simple drag-and-drop builder like Weebly, Wix, or a CMS like WordPress. It is a very similar notion with vibe coding as far as those individuals are concerned. However, it is a lot more concerning with vibe coding because it is unsupervised and there is no one to make sure good practices and safe code are actually produced. While with WordPress or Weebly, for example, what the non-developer creates is limited by the safety features integrated into the platform. Second, for as long as I can recall, there have been companies, clients, managers, those hiring developers that just don't want to pay them fairly for their work and are eager to grab any excuse. A very common example is when the skills of a mid-level or even sometimes senior developer are devalued to junior level during the job interviewing process, with all kinds of tools and aids to do so. Not because they are a true reflection of the developer's skills, but merely because those hiring very much want to pay junior salary while they have someone doing senior level work. None of this is new. This practice has been done for over 20 years. So there is no surprise that people like this would love to hire vibe coders now. It is a freaking win-win for them because they give a title that can give them the excuse to pay even below junior salary. But hey, they still know the fact. A developer is a developer even when they perform what is called vibe coding. Do you not get how freaking awesome that is for them? Shortly after the term became popular, few job postings surfaced where vibe coder was part of the official job title. Of course, further down, The job requirements always included real development skills. Thankfully, those job postings quickly stopped appearing, since everyone could see how ridiculous they were. For senior developers, it was bad enough being told we're suitable for junior roles, and to add an even bigger slap in the face, saying we're qualified for vibe coder roles. That was absurd. Developers with hands-on experience who actually like their work do not find vibe coding satisfying. The whole reason a hands-on developer will go into those depths is to have full control and write their own code, experience the satisfaction of seeing their code come to life, not seeing something that the AI generated come to life. So for anyone who became a developer driven by that passion, vibe coding is very, very boring, less fulfilling, and in reality, it is a step back. Or maybe even a few steps back, because it would feel like using yet another low-code, no-code tool, just with more integrated customization capabilities. But the developer experience would be similar, empty and plain. For most of us developers, we used low-code, no-code tools way earlier in our career, and we moved beyond them exactly because this is not what we want to do. No one that enjoys and is capable of coding by themselves would enjoy vibe coding instead. And why would they? At that point, the AI is only getting in their way. If they can already do everything that the AI can do without relying on it, then delegating everything to the AI tool can become more of an obstacle, slowing them down. There is a big difference between integrating AI into the workflow and letting it take over completely. The people that find the idea of vibe coding extremely appealing are primarily those that feel more empowered and enabled. The ones that could not do all the things that they can now achieve with the help of AI. And that is why they hype over it so much. To them, it is not a step back. It is in fact many steps forward because a whole new world opens up to them. While to non-dev people, vibe coding is an upgrade, to a developer with extended hands-on experience, vibe coding is a major downgrade, any way you look at it. Here is our pro tip: how to quickly figure out who has hands-on developer coding experience versus who doesn't. Tell them, from tomorrow, you will be doing only vibe coding, and watch the reaction. Anyone getting super hyped over it, very excited, and extremely welcoming to the idea, most probably is not a true hands-on capable developer. There are no drawbacks for them. It is a level up. While developers with years of hands-on experience may not be opposed to it, they for sure would not be blindly positive or as excited or super welcoming to the idea, because they know all the drawbacks that exist for them. Sure, maybe there are exceptions here and there when it comes to how people would react, but they are rare. And that difference in reaction isn't trivial. It exposes the core mismatch. When enthusiasm comes from not seeing the risks, the shortcuts, and the maintenance debt, the outcomes are not the same. The person with deep experience brings judgment, debugging instincts, architecture sense, and security awareness that shape every prompt and every review pass. The person without that background can produce something that looks impressive on the surface, but fails under real-world constraints. That's exactly why pretending both results are equivalent is not just hype, it's misrepresentation. It is a scam to present vibe coding as if it is the same thing no matter who performs it. And we highly suspect that Karpathy was well aware of who would respond and how to this claim, and he was just messing with those clueless poor souls that have no idea what it's all about. That's all for this video. We are curious to know, do you have any experiences related to vibe coding? Share your thoughts and stories in comments. And of course, if there are other scams you would like us to expose, do not hesitate to get in touch. Your support means a lot to us. Like this video and subscribe so we can carry on exposing more and more dev scams. Thank you for watching.